Hey, James, how are you?
Okay. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me.
Yep, we could hear you. So
Okay.
I just gave everybody a brief introduction of, the voting process and, who's running and that you'll be talking to us today for a few minutes. I told them that we'd be recording this for people that were not here as we talked about. Um, so the rest of the time is to you. We're giving everybody 5 minutes, as you know, and the floor is yours.
I don't know if you guys heard me. I'm a 28-year school security officer from Union Township. I'm married to a lovely educator by the name of Patricia. She is also a educator, a world language educator for the past 23 years. She's actually working on her doctorate, and we're parents of two lovely children. Throughout my life, I have always held to the guiding principle about what am I doing for others. And more importantly, I say this because as a child, I was a foster kid and moving from home to home, living out of bags. I never had the opportunity to really find a home. And I found that home working in school, being in a school. The teachers and the staff, the custodial staff, they all appreciated me and made sure they taught a young kid that was trying to really find his place in this world. So for 25 years as a school security officer, I provided a safe and nurturing environment for many of our students. And it is why I decided to take this journey to become the first education support professional officer for the state of New Jersey at NJEA. If elected, I will be the first in our history to ever hold this position. So throughout my career, I've held many positions at the local, state, and national. On the local, I've been a building rep, I've been a government relations chair, I've been a part of my negotiation team, but I've also been the first education support professional to serve as a president of the Union Township Education Association, which is a 1,000 member wall to wall local. I've also, during that tenure, had the opportunity to build the Board of Ed up. I got one of our first Board of Ed members who was a member, uh, Kimberly Scott Hayden, who you might know, who was an NEA ESP of the Year, to win a seat on the Board of Ed. I'm about elevating individuals. I'm about ensuring that we have members that are out there that are in the community that are able to stand up and be able to create policy for us. So also I had the opportunity to serve as your current president, well, Union County president. And during my tenure, during this time, I've also had the opportunity to see membership growth. I've also seen provided spaces for different members. I've created an MOC. I created a Latin MOC within the county. I'm presently working to create a Jewish affinity group as well, because I believe that members, if they want to become a part of the association, they have to feel themselves within this association. But I've also had the opportunity during my advocacy over the past 28 years to serve on the National Education Association Board of Directors. But more importantly, I had the opportunity to serve on the NEA Strategic Plan and Budget Committee. And I had the opportunity to be the senior director, which was responsible for a $500 million budget that was equitable for all our members. We redesigned the ESP Leadership Institute. We also created one of NEA's most best and attended conferences, which is the Conference of Racial and Social Justice. So as your next Secretary Treasurer, I will prioritize maintaining our fiscal stability while doubling down on our strategic initiatives that put our members first. The tone at the top of our organization is to reflect my commitment to you, our commitment as leadership to you, because we need to develop a budget that reflects the priorities of our members. It's important to understand that these are challenging times and they demand that we ensure that your voice and your autonomy and your leadership are created within our budget and our strategic plans. But moreover, we must prepare our members for professional advocacy, equipping them with the challenges that lie ahead. You can understand that right now we're in some troubling times. We understand there's an attack on the Department of Ed, there's an attack on pensions, but we have to ensure that we are steadfast and ready. We produce advocates that are out there that are standing in front of these offices and telling them, no, we need to fight for our members. So we need to ensure that we have these ongoing dialogues, bridging the gaps between the members and the leaders, because only together can we effectively address the challenges that we face ahead. We also have to understand that we have that pension fight. And more importantly, our ESPs, who are they're usually always having the budgets for it on their backs, are literally just dropping away. It's time to really advocate for them to ensure that we have a due structure, we have a budget that's reflective of ensuring that all members feel like they're part of the association. So now more than ever, we need to come together as a united front. We have the power to create lasting change, and I'm committed to leading that charge. So let's embrace this opportunity. Understand that James Frazier is a fighter for public education. I'm a fighter for the members. I'm the type of person that believes in getting on the ground with the members. I need to hear your voice because I don't believe that we could do anything without having the members' voices involved in all aspects of what we do at NJEA. So I humbly ask for your support, your vote to elect the first education support professional to be the officer in NJEA's history. And I can assure you that my resume, my bio, out of every last one of these candidates is the most exclusive. One of the I've done the work, I've done everything that's necessary to prove that I am capable and ready to do this job as your next Secretary Treasurer. And in every aspect of whatever I've done, I've always been successful in those spaces. So I ask and humbly ask for your endorsement. Thank you so much, and you all have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you so much, James. And if you could, thank you for joining us today. Much appreciated. If you could email me your campaign documents, and I'll be sure to get them out to all of our members and hang them up in our workplaces or our work sites.
Absolutely. And Kathy, how are you, Kathy? Take care, everyone.
Thanks, James. Thank you.
Bye now.
Okay, so that is James Frazier. Next up we have, and Henry's here, right, Melissa?
Henry's here, yep.
So next up we have our second candidate, Henry Goodhue. Hi, Henry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, John?
Very good. Thank you for joining us. I was just explaining to the members before you popped in that a little bit about the NJEA Secretary Treasurer campaign and about the four candidates. So, as you know, we're going to be recording this today just so we can put it out there for our members that are not with us today. But we wanted to give you an opportunity to share your platform and your vision for the future of NJEA. And with that being said, the floor is yours to talk to our members.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate the opportunity for this. I apologize that I'm doing this from my car as I'm running from one event to the next. But I do sincerely appreciate that you have taken this time to hear from all of the candidates, not just me. My name is Henry Goodhue, and I became a special education teacher 21 years ago because I cared very deeply about students finding success and equity within our schools. But the one thing that became very apparent to me as a special education teacher very quickly was that that success could not be achieved without our incredible instructional assistants. So as I sat there 10 years into my career and my instructional assistant let me know that the board was thinking about privatizing to balance the budget, I found that to be educationally inappropriate and frankly morally reprehensible because these people had contributed so much to the schools and they were more than just a budget line item. And more importantly, in Hillsborough, where I live and work, 380 of our ESPs live in town. 500 of our members live in town. So not only was I looking at a colleague who was going to lose their job, I was looking at extension of a neighbor, a parent of one of my students who wasn't sure how they were going to pay their bills, where their health care was going to come from. So I knew I needed to do something. So I took action and I formed a community coalition with municipal leaders, with business advocates, with parents, with members, and many more. And we came out to oppose privatization. And I'm very proud to say that that night we defeated it. And inadvertently, I got myself elected as president of the Hillsborough Education Association. So for 11 years now, I've proudly led the Hillsborough Education Association, which was one of the largest all-inclusive locals in all of Somerset County. We have just shy of 1,100 members, and we represent almost every unit or job description that could possibly be an NJEA member. So it's given me a very unique perspective of our members' needs. And that advocacy has led me into being first vice president of the Somerset County Education Association, where I proudly serve as co-chair of government relations and the liaison to our county MOC, where we help to not only create space for members, but connection and ownership of the union so that they can help guide where we go. And on the state level, I serve as the president of the NJEA County President's Council, which is like rep council for all 21 counties. And this has allowed me to work in all of the 21 counties across the state, see our members' needs, and help advocate for their rights throughout all of New Jersey. That also led me into being an NEA Resolutions Committee member, where last year I proudly crafted a resolution addressing educational reparations, which was a difficult thing to wrap my head around at first. But I knew that the NEA wanted to address systemic issues that were taking place in educational systems. And I'm proud to say not only did we create a definition, but we passed it with the full support of every representative from every state. And that's the kind of work that we're going to need to do to overcome the challenges set before us. And that kind of coalition building is also what I sought as a member of the, as an NJEA representative on the governor's educator shortage task force. I was one of 4 representatives who are addressing the educator shortage that I'm sure every single one of you is dealing with right now in your schools. And in that space, we sat there and we had a conversation where answers were drifting towards the easy ones, as they often do, and not the right ones. And I recalled a conversation that I had had recently with my 12-year-old daughter, who looked to her mother, who's a special education teacher, started her career in the South Bronx and followed me to New Jersey, and works in the neighboring town. She has her doctorate in education. She's very involved with her union and is credibly dedicated, and is rightfully an inspiration to my daughter, who sat there and said, I want to be a teacher. And we both hesitated. And that was a gut punch for both of us. And as I sat in the educator shortage task force with the DOE and legislators and a bunch of other people, I said, do any of you feel differently than that? And a gentleman raised his hand and he looked around and he said, I have 7 kids and I'm terrified that one wants to be a teacher. And then he introduced himself as a superintendent of one of the largest districts in New Jersey. And that's where these conversations need to happen. We need to make sure that we're having leadership that is not seeking easy answers or quick answers. Not that our current leadership is, to be clear, but we need people who are in Trenton seeking the right answers for our members. And that was the moment that I knew I wanted to run for NJEA Secretary Treasurer. I've had successes legislatively working towards the sick leave usage, pension justice, a bunch of other things. School funding predominantly has been a major focus of me, and I'm sure is impacting some of you as well. Currently working to have a stabilization bill introduced today that will restore funding to districts who lost it. But this is the work we need to do. So I humbly ask you, if you believe in the power of unions and the promise of public education, that you join me in this campaign, and that when the ballot arrives on April 1st, you share my belief that for NJEA Secretary Treasurer, it's got to be Goodhue. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Henry, so much. And if you could email me your flyers or any other campaign materials that you have, I'll gladly share them with our members and hang them up in all of our work sites for you.
Absolutely.
And
thank you.
of course. And thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. I know it's a very busy time, but we appreciate the time you gave us.
Look, I'm happy to, and thank you for organizing this and allow me to come and share some space with your members. I hope you all have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Tina is in the waiting room.
Okay, very good.
Ready for her?
Okay, so Tina Dare is up next. Yep. Hi, Tina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just telling our members a little bit about the campaign here, about the Secretary Treasurer position and how how important it is for us, and to hear from all of our candidates so they know who they're voting for, and just to hear your platform and your vision for the future. So thank you for joining us today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, thank you for this opportunity. I'm clearly in my car because I'm running from place to place today. So I really appreciate having a Zoom and being able to hop on and talk to everyone. So again, my name is Tina Dare, and I am obviously running for NJEA Secretary Treasurer. And I want to start by letting you know that I am a 26-year high school chemistry teacher, and I am still currently in the classroom. I'm the only candidate that is still currently in the classroom. And I tell you that because I'm still in the building and I'm feeling the pain that you guys are as well. I don't know about your local, but in mine, it's very difficult to find subs right now. So heaven forbid anyone takes a day off. We can't find maternity leave positions. We can't find enough subs for the building when it comes to bus drivers and custodians. We're all dealing with SGOs and the pressures of lesson planning and all the pressures that go along being a public educator these days. So I'm still feeling that as well. And I bring that with me into hopefully this position as NJEA Secretary Treasurer. So not only am I a classroom teacher, I also am the president of my local association, where I'm a firm believer in making sure that everyone has a seat at the table, because everyone's voice should be heard in every single aspect of our union. So I have made sure to create positions for my secretaries, my paras, my high school, my middle school. There is a VP position for everyone, because we need to make sure all marginalized voices are heard and our job in positions of power is to make sure that we create the space for our marginalized members. I am also the treasurer of the Gloucester County Education Association. So that's given me the ability to work with large budgets, to organize our members around the issues they care about when it comes to budgeting, creating diverse teams when we have our budget committee, and then creating budgets that actually give back and work for our members. Because it is your dues money at the end of the day, and we need to make sure that we're using it in the way that you want it to be used, and also to grow our association and move us forward, because we have a lot of difficult times coming in the future. Besides that, I am a consultant with NJEA, so that allows me to work across the state, not just down here in Gloucester County where I'm at, but from all the way up north to all the way down south in Cape May. It's allowed me to work on ESP privatization battles and organize our ESP members. I've worked on health and safety issues and done walkthroughs and helped members and organize their own health and safety teams. I've also worked on all kinds of political campaigns across the state to organize members to work for our endorsed candidates. So I'd say the thing I'm most proud of is my position as the chair of the NJEA Government Relations Committee. And I'm so proud of that because I know that as much as everyone hates politics, it affects everything we do. And I've had the ability in that position as the chair to push things forward, like our sick leave law that began in the Government Relations Committee. Also things like Chapter 44 to make sure that our healthcare wasn't making us go broke. More recently, I've been working on the pension tiering issues. So that started in my committee because I said it is no longer equitable for us to have people retiring at 65 where the rest paying the same amount are retiring at 55. We shouldn't have a position where we can't recruit and retain members because our pension system and our healthcare is not good enough. So I have a proven track record of these last 8 years as the chair of government relations, really pushing the issues that I know matter most to our members because I work with them and I organize with them and I push those initiatives forward. So I will just close in saying that my mom was a 42-year second grade teacher and she loved public education, so much so that she said, please become a teacher so you can train the next level of scientists. And she said, you will have great health care, you will have a pension, you will have summers off to raise a family. And I agreed, obviously I'm a teacher, but now I look back at that and I say, we don't have those things anymore. We don't have an equitable pension system. We all pay for our health care. And I will say probably most of us have summer jobs or weekend jobs because our pay is not enough. We need someone who's willing to fight and ready to fight to make sure that these issues aren't issues anymore. We have to make sure we have someone who's has a proven track record to fight against the things that we care about most. And I have that track record. So I will just say in closing that my name is Tina Dare. And ballots come out April 1st to the 15th. And I dare you to vote for me. So thank you so much for the opportunity of being here today.
Thank you so much, Tina. And if you could, when you have a chance, if you could forward me your flyers or any other campaign materials that you have, I will gladly send them out to our members and hang them up in our work sites for you.
Awesome. I really appreciate that. I will send that out to you later today.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, we have one more, and then we get down to business. So let me get Denise King's video up. She's at the ESP conference, as I stated earlier. It's actually at the same conference that James Frazier was at. So I will play her video for you.
Hi, my name is Denise King, and I'm a candidate for NJEA Secretary Treasurer. Unfortunately, I'm unable to be with you there today due to commitments in Monmouth County. I'm a proud public educator and labor leader in Monmouth County, New Jersey. I've devoted much of my life to labor advocacy. I'm a diligent worker, a team player, and a leader who believes in never giving up on its members. I'm an inclusive leader who works collaboratively and honors the needs of others. Throughout my 20 years, as in advocacy, which began as an association representative, I've served the membership through countless local committee positions, such as president of Monmouth County, on NJEA committees, in NJEA Delegate Assembly, and also as an NJEA consultant. In my local, I served as Homedale Township Education Association president, vice president, grievance chair, and currently am working as past president, negotiations chair, and LAT chair. I believe that every member has a right to be fairly represented. and deserves to be championed and valued for their contributions, regardless of their title, role, or certification. We are all educators. Throughout my career, I have organized many locals to become inclusive or independent, including locals of bus drivers, paraprofessionals, secretaries, custodial maintenance and grounds, as well as teachers. I spent countless hours advocating and fighting for members of diverse backgrounds who've been marginalized because of their job category, role, certification, or ethnicity. I believe in order to succeed, our union leadership needs to support, listen, and learn from its members. Somebody recently commented that I'm good at bringing people together, and I'm proud of this distinction because it speaks to the idea of community, which is something I deeply value. In order to work towards a common goal, whether in a classroom, at the negotiations table, or in an advocacy campaign, we need to do so in solidarity and in sense of compassion and care for our neighbors. I've been a member of NJEA for 30 years. I've seen lots of changes and growth in the local, county, state, and national levels. As we expand our advocacy, it's important that we keep an eye on union campaigns such as fighting for adequate salaries, a livable wage, in order to ensure that all members can afford to live and work in New Jersey. During the next 4 years and beyond, we know that public education will be targeted. Now more than ever, we need to strengthen and empower our local members to grow a stronger and more powerful union. As a president of a diverse county, I know there's no one size fits all to supporting locals. For this reason, I prioritize making time for all local leaders to meet with me so that I can be an ally and advocate for their specific needs of their members. I believe that leadership is service. I am here to use my experience and knowledge to protect educators and to support our public schools. In order to better support our members and the NJEA local leader, I believe that we need to implement a dues freeze by reallocating of funds where necessary, create a system or procedure to provide dues reimbursement to local presidents for their service during the year, increasing LAFAP reimbursements, work collaboratively with all stakeholders of NJEA, and advocate for members' issues with local state legislators. For example, our pension and benefits that are currently needing reform. Thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you. Again, I'm sorry for my absence today, but look forward to meeting you in my role as NJEA Secretary Treasurer and hope that you will reach out via phone. I've attached my information, which includes my phone number, and look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Okay, very good. So thank you everybody for staying on and listening to that. I just feel it's very important for people to know who the candidates are. I would never want anybody to say, I got this ballot in the mail. I don't even know who these people are. So I feel like it's our job to inform you who they are and give them a chance to voice their opinion. So that's why we did that. So now you know who they are and you have a little bit of an idea of what their platforms are. So again, ballots will be mailed out on or around April 1st to you, and they must be back to NJEA by April 15th. So I would suggest when you get it, just fill it out the same day that you get it, put it in the mail, and don't think twice about it. Just do it the same day so you don't forget, you don't throw it out by mistake. Because additionally, in that same ballot, for the people that we just heard from, is also going to be an election for delegate assembly, which I'm also running for. Now, as many of you know that have come to our meetings, you know that I am a member currently of the delegate assembly. My first term is coming to an end, so I'm running for re-election to that. So I'm going to ask you when you get your ballot to not only vote for Secretary Treasurer, obviously, but to also vote for me for delegate assembly. If you're not sure what delegate assembly is, Kathy and I made a video of that a couple weeks ago, and it is on the DEA YouTube channel. So if you'd like to check it out, it's only 7 minutes, but it gives you an idea of what that is. And I would really sincerely appreciate your support with that.